Good morning. And welcome to Charlotte City Council District 2. My name is Malcolm Graham. I'm a member of the Charlotte City Council, and I have the privilege of representing District 2. I also serve as the chairman of the City of Charlotte's Jobs and Economic Development Committee, and it's indeed an honor as well as a privilege for me to be here today. I am here and excited to announce our partnership with Operation Hope in helping 1 million Black business nationwide. Many people know me as an elected official, but I started my career as the executive director for the Carolinas Minority Supply Development Council, helping pair major corporations with minority business owners for business opportunities. I served as the vice president for minority business development for Bank of America, helping to identify minority contractors to help build many of the buildings that we see in uptown Charlotte today, the IJL building, the 525 building, Gateway Village Center, et cetera, making sure that minority business owners are part of the fabric of the city of Charlotte. Charlotte continuously ranks among the best cities for Black professionals in America and a hotspot in the lending tree ranks. But during the pandemic, we saw a dramatic decline in small businesses across America. They were failing at unprecedented rates. We know that Black-owned businesses in Charlotte were impacted too. So today, I am pleased to join forces with many other cities across the nation in the 1 Million Black Business Initiative so we can help create new economic opportunities in Charlotte. And I think that's the point that I want to stress today, new economic opportunities for Black businesses in Charlotte to create 1 million businesses nationwide. Small business owners are working hard to start and grow their business, but they can't do it alone. And someone who's been in this entrepreneurial space myself, I know the importance of having access to mentors, having the opportunity to ask for help. With help from the city, our small business resource partners, our Black-owned small business have seen growth post-pandemic, and we want them to continue. Operation Hope 1 Million Black Business Initiative provides assistance to those owners so they can grow and flourish in our community. The goal is to create generational wealth. I can't wait to see that unfold in the city of Charlotte, especially through our quarters of opportunities and the good work our CBI initiatives are doing here in Charlotte. Just yesterday, we had a major Economic Development Committee meeting where we talked about Charlotte business inclusion, our disparity study, working to ensure that Black business owners in this community receive their fair share of the economic pie in the city of Charlotte. That is really, really so important. And when we talk about our quarters of opportunities, we talk about being very intentional about ensuring that folks that look like me and you and others in this community, as this city grows and prospers, that everyone is growing and prospering together. So I'm excited about this initiative. I'm excited that we are all here today. And more importantly, when you look around the room and see all the faces who are here today, it demonstrates in a very visible way that it is time for this community to be very intentional about ensuring that Black and brown businesses are part of the fabric of everything that we do in the city of Charlotte. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, the founder of Do Great Charlotte and responsible for this wonderful space. Isn't this a wonderful space? So I know we're here for the Black Business Initiative, but make sure you talk to this guy, William McNeely, because he is fantastic and doing so much great work in the city of Charlotte. Please come forward, and thank you for hosting us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Malcolm. It's an honor to be here today to recognize this groundbreaking initiative to start, grow, and scale 1 million Black businesses by 2030. Our vision at Do Greater Charlotte is to create a world where young people are equipped with the skills and confidence to turn their ideas into reality and make a positive impact on society. We exist to ignite and build creative confidence in youth through training in design thinking, entrepreneurship, and creative technologies, enabling them to become innovative problem solvers and leaders in their communities. The Creative Lab at Shiloh, which you're in today, is a state-of-the-art entrepreneurship and innovation lab dedicated to training and developing youth entrepreneurs in Charlotte. As many of you know, I've always been passionate about innovation and entrepreneurship. I believe that these skills are essential for success in today's world, and they are particularly important for our youth. The Creative Lab at Shiloh is the first phase in building a platform of spaces that focus on innovation, design, entrepreneurship that activate in the corridors of opportunity here in Charlotte. We are bringing together today's creative community to empower tomorrow's creative class. Our platform thrives on what we call creative collisions. Together, students, creative doers, and the community co-learn together and develop the confidence to create solutions to community problems. We've partnered with many organizations to create a nurturing community where youth can thrive and develop their skills. This lab is a vibrant space where young people can access advanced tools and technologies, classes, workshops, and camps focused on design thinking, entrepreneurship, and all creative technologies. It's a place where youth can come and explore their passions, develop their skills, and unleash their entrepreneurial potential. It's an opportunity hub. But the Creative Lab is more than just a space. It's a movement to empower our youth to create opportunities, to build a better future for all. And it's a movement that is aimed at supporting this initiative of building 1 million Black-owned businesses by 2030. Why is entrepreneurship important? Teaching our youth how to start businesses is critical, but that's not all. Entrepreneurship teaches critical soft skills that are essential for success in today's world. These skills include creativity and innovation, critical thinking, problem solving, communication and collaboration, resilience and perseverance, and time management and organization. These skills are vital in success in any field, and they are particularly important for our youth. By developing these skills to entrepreneurship, we are preparing our young people for challenges of the future. Today, we join the City of Charlotte, Operation Hope, and its partners with our supporters, our partners, and our board of directors in this initiative by launching our own Innovation, Design, and Entrepreneurship Alliance. We're calling it IDEA. We envision a future that many of our middle and high school students who come through our doors will be entrepreneurs, creating jobs and contributing to the economy by 2030. So we want to start now empowering our youth with support, mentoring, training, and creative spaces that start them upward toward economic stability. I invite you all to support the IDEA initiative any way you can. Whether you are a business leader, an educator, or a member of the community, we need your support to make this vision a reality. Together, we can build a better future for our youth, our communities, and our world. Thanks. And now I am pleased to invite Dr. Shante Williams to speak on behalf of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Black Chamber of Commerce. Dr. Williams.
All right. Well, I didn't hear everybody say good morning. So good morning. Good morning. Y'all in the church, so y'all know where we at in the South. All right. Now, I just want to take everybody back to a report that came out, 50 out of 50, right? I stand here as a child that was one of those 50 out of 50. I was born in Earl Village. Both of my parents had a high school education, but with the help and support of many community partners, they were able to buy their home. I went into the academically gifted program, the International Baccalaureate program, and now I stand here as a first-generation college graduate. I have a doctorate, I have an MBA, and I run an investment firm. So that means that we as a community I'm saying that it sounds like people can't hear me. As a community, we can support and change the trajectory of the youth in our community. Yeah. Now let's fast forward to March of 2020. Everybody remember that? Seems like it was yesterday, right? It was 3 years ago. Most of the mics that were in my face were asking me to speak about the businesses that were not going to survive. We saw 85% of the Black businesses in the Charlotte community completely shut down 3 weeks before anybody was even talking about it. With the help of the City of Charlotte, who helped us with a Back to Business grant, we were able to get all of the businesses that were in our program back open within a month. we were able to help them to not only diversify their revenue streams, but they are still in business today. One specific business owner came to me in March and she said, I got a choice to make. I'm either going to pay my rent or I'm going to pay my building's rent. And what did she say? She said, I know how important it is for economic mobility for me to stay in my business. So I am willing to camp out in my business if I have to. And I said, okay, sis, we're not going to let you do that. She moved out of that space, and she now today is in 4 times the space. She is an economic provider. She provides jobs, and she provides a safe space for Black women entrepreneurs in this city. That is what we can do when we collectively come together, both with mentoring resources, but financial resources. At the Charlotte Mecklenburg Black Chamber of Commerce, I like to say, I'm not only the leader, I'm also a client. I'm a Black business owner. I know how important it is to have people around you who believe in your vision. We have the Women's Business Center here. We have Councilman Graham, who's actually my councilman, so I'm in District 2. But ultimately, it takes all of us. 1 million Black businesses is something that will help new entrepreneurs. It will help growing entrepreneurs. And everybody knows I love to see a business scale. So if you've seen me speak before, you know all I will say is cut the check. But cut the check with some mentoring resources. The city of Charlotte has so many Black businesses and Black business owners here that were born here. I'm a Charlotte native. I see a few other Charlotte natives in the room, right? We have so many people here, not just the people coming here. We are always happy to have them attracted here. But as we continue to help the people who were born here, who continue to cultivate here, to create jobs here, we want to see them thrive. We had a disparity report come out, and that disparity report always saddens me a little bit, to be candid. When we look at the revenue number that a lot of Black businesses have, it's barely enough to keep the building up, right? I want to see more $1 million Black businesses. I want to see more $100 million Black businesses. I want to see people exit. I want to see us create a community of millionaires and billionaires. Why? Because what we did was create the economic viability and opportunity for all of our business owners. And everybody knows that I can talk a whole lot. What I will say is thank you to everyone who has come to coalesce around our Black business owners, who know that we have to be intentional. This is not about favoritism. It's not about any other words that we might put into the system to try and make it politically unsavvy. These are people in our community who need the help, who need the support, who are looking for the funding, not just the rhetoric, so they can grow and thrive. I am always very, very pleased to be able to talk to and support business owners, and Black women business owners are still the fastest growing entrepreneur group in this country. And as I look around, I see a lot of Black women business owners in this room that I hope take advantage of 1 million Black businesses. And with that, I will say, let's support. Let's grow. Let's thrive. I hope the next time we're talking about 1 billion Black businesses, and I hope they all live in Charlotte.
District 2.
In District 2. Councilman Graham wants the vote. But without further ado, I do want to bring up a business owner who told me she is a business owner who ran a printing business, and then she moved on to something else. Miss Nia McAdoo, the owner of Homage Exhibits. Did I say it right?
You did.
All right. Please welcome her with a hand clap.
Good morning. We are resilient, we are passionate, and we are ready. I'm excited to stand here today as a proud business owner and as someone who's benefited from a number of programs and partnerships offered by the City of Charlotte. Helping Black entrepreneurs in our community start and scale companies is good for the city, and it's good for business. It helps chip away at the barriers that we faced for generations. The ability to create a business with a strong foundation transforms us from sole props. I know a lot of us started there. Working out of our dining rooms to ones running S Corps, from solopreneurs doing everything in our businesses to people who create jobs throughout the city of Charlotte. I remember starting my company. I was employed full-time, and I created it on my laptop, like on my lap. I didn't have a desk, and I Googled everything. I figured it out on my own, just like many entrepreneurs out there. I was resilient. I was passionate. I was ready. I didn't have a mentor or an example of someone who had done it before me. I just made it work. Over 15 years, I grew that company to a team of over a dozen people in the city of Charlotte, and I was fortunate enough to sell that company last year to another African-American woman entrepreneur. Can you imagine if I started that company with a mentor or access to capital or a desk? I launched my new venture, the Homage exhibit, a little over 2 years ago. It takes the private collection of African American artifacts that my husband and I have collected over 20 years, and we partner with corporations and universities to bring DEI programming and experiences to their communities through a traveling exhibit. I took all the knowledge I learned from programs like Amp Up Charlotte, which is represented very well in the room. If you went through that program, just raise your hand. Yes. Next CLT. I see some Next CLT graduates in the room as well. Raise your hand. Definitely. And I'm a better entrepreneur for it. Black business owners in Charlotte have a large impact on the city, and we're ready to leave our mark. We're talking about creating wealth. We're talking about thriving in the city of Charlotte. We're talking about creating something tangible with a strong foundation that we can pass down to our children. My son is right there. Or something we can sell. It's about creating those options. I think my 11-year-old knows more about business today than I did when I started my first company. The knowledge I gain, the highs, lows, and everything in between, I share with him and those entrepreneurs in my network and people I meet at events or on LinkedIn. I remember my first big sort of grown-up commercial lease in the city of Charlotte. It was right over on W.T. Harris. And when our lease was up, the leasing agent gave me a call, courtesy call. This is your new rate. And I looked at that number and I was like, how did we get here? Like, I don't know where this number came from. And I told him, I said, I need a little bit of time. I want to look at purchasing my own commercial property, right? Because that's a dream. And he laughed at me, and he said, I'll give you a few weeks, but this paperwork has to get signed, right? And I scrambled to find a commercial realtor who would work with me, because I didn't have a large budget. And we won't get into the hurdles with the bank. We won't. It was humbling. And at times it was humiliating, right? I closed on my property in April 2018, and I paid it off last year. And I appreciate that, thank you. Since 2018, I've purchased 2 other commercial properties, and they're rented to entrepreneurs of color, helping them make their mark in the city. I'm a huge supporter of the city's Economic Development Office and the role they play in vetting programs. Vetting is important. And also vetting the organizations they partner with. We all know the issues we face. Access to capital. Y'all real quiet. Access to capital, hiring and retaining staff, mentorship, and having our names and companies mentioned in rooms that we don't have access to yet. And the key word is, thank you. The city provides education, coaching, and connections needed to improve our businesses. I remember hiring my first employee and slowly scaling over the years, but I felt alone, right? I was figuring it out as I went, but participating in programs sponsored by the City of Charlotte transformed my company. And I know this partnership with Operation Hope's 1 Million Black Businesses, it will transform the City of Charlotte into one that's more inclusive for people just like me. And I'm excited about that. I believe that this partnership is going to change lives in a major way in the city. I'm honored to welcome Joanne Massey, Senior Vice President with Operation Hope, to the podium to speak with us today.
It was May 5th, 1992. The Rodney King riots were at their heights. Black people had yet again received a disservice from our justice system, from a community and a country that was really meant to serve them, that was built by them. And our founder, John Hope Bryant, knew that he had to do something to help the people in his community. For those folks who know, Black people kept money under their mattress. We didn't have receipts. We had written receipts for our businesses. But like our business owner, Ms. McAdoo, said here, we were resilient. And when the riots happened and our businesses burned to the ground, the banks, much like they did you, humiliated our people, turned them away. The grants and support that was meant to build them back up, they didn't qualify for it because they didn't have their receipts and their records. And so John Hope Bryant, a young man, born and raised in Compton, the son of entrepreneurs, decided that he wanted to do something. And so he founded Operation Hope, built on the importance of financial literacy and teaching Black people how to get their financial affairs together. Almost 31 years later, I stand here before you representing Operation Hope as a young Black professional, but more importantly, as someone that's here to support and partner with you, Dr. Williams, Councilman Graham, in helping to build a stronger Charlotte. 1 Million Black Businesses was founded in 2020 in a partnership with Shopify. Shopify invested $1.5 million into this program because they knew that at that time, 31 years after a major national tragedy, Black businesses were still not in a better state. So when the pandemic happened, we still didn't have our receipts to get the PPP loans and the EIDL and all those things, right? We were still there. So what do? We didn't have e-commerce sites. We had brick and mortar. So when our businesses closed, we weren't able to continue to prosper. And so the founding of 1 Million Black Businesses, as it has been stated, was meant to start, grow, and scale 1 million businesses in a 10-year period by 2030. Operation Hope, our board of directors, are so proud to welcome the city of Charlotte, along with other cities who have already joined, like Atlanta, Memphis, Tennessee, New York, Jackson, Mississippi, and I could keep going. Welcome you to the coalition of the willing, because at the end of the day, there is no savior coming. We are our own saviors. If we don't do it for ourselves today, for your son, Ms. McAdoo, my daughter who's in the back who came here with me from Memphis, if we don't do it for ourselves, it's not going to happen. And tomorrow is too late because he's growing up today. So the 1 Million Black Business Initiative is meant to bring resources to you all, to bring a national presence. You're not alone. The stories, we hear them every day from our business owners. But now, today, it stops. It stops. We won't be talking about this and I'm getting a little teary-eyed, we won't be talking about this 20 years from now. We won't be talking about this 50 years from now. We will have Black millionaires in Charlotte. We will have many businesses who have grown from the support of Tracy and her team, Mayor Lyles, and of course Councilman Graham, and the support you all are giving. We're not going anywhere. We're so happy to be here. We're so glad that you welcome us, and I can guarantee you this works. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tracy Dodson. I am the Assistant City Manager as well as the Director of Economic Development for the city. It's really hard to close after so many great comments. And a couple things I just want to note. William, I want to do this across all of our corridors of opportunity. So we've got a bigger partnership there. Dr. Williams, you are absolutely inspiring and your passion is contagious for sure. And Ms. McAdoo, that story in itself is what should be one of a million stories that we have in our community. So thank you to all of you for sharing this morning. The city has consistently supported Black-owned businesses through programs like AMP Up and other initiatives that have been mentioned here this morning. We have an active ecosystem of resource partners, and many of the partners are here today, so thank you. This will not be achieved by one entity alone. It's all of us working together. And so opportunities like that to welcome Ms. Massey and 1 million Black businesses to our community are just another tool in the toolbox to help us get there. It's all of us in all of us together that are going to get to where we want to be. And so thank you. A big thank you also to the team, my team that works day in and day out on these initiatives. We use the phrase a lot of times going through COVID, we had to build the plane and figure out how to fly it all at the same time. And they worked hard. And so I am forever grateful for them. Again, a big thank you to Operation Hope. And we are very excited to have another tool, like I mentioned, where we can help Black-owned businesses thrive here in Charlotte. And I want to hear the stories, because that's really what makes it all worthwhile, is when you can hear the success stories, we're really making a difference. I was reflecting recently with the mayor, and she was talking about our Corridors of Opportunity initiative, which it's not new for us to invest in corridors, but we had to do it differently to get to the impact that we really wanted to see in this community. And the mayor was talking about Beatty's Ford and LaSalle, and she's like, I drive down now and it looks different. And I was like, yes, we are doing something right. And so we are excited to continue to break down barriers and give equal opportunity to everyone. This is another great initiative, and so I thank you again for being here today. In quick closing, for all of our media partners that are here, we do have a communications and media team that can answer questions, and there will be media packets for you that includes a press release, as well as there are several, obviously, Black-owned business leaders here today that can talk about their initiatives, share their stories in more detail with you. So again, thank you everybody for coming out this morning. This is so exciting as another support into our Black-owned businesses here in Charlotte. Thank you.